the market's starting to understand that HBM is absolutely critical to the AI infrastructure build-out we've got. But still, such a high bar for Micron. What was your reaction and interpretation of those numbers?
I thought they were incredible because I had, consensus estimates kind of in my mind whenever I was looking at this stock. Now, the other thing that is missing from this equation is it's run up tremendously in the recent past. So I think there is a little about maybe some of the traders that aren't going to stay around in the name are out because of the great gains they've gotten in the recent past. So there's a little bit of profit taking going on. But really, all arrows are green and pointed up. So I think the stock is pointed up and to the right. And some of the areas that I think are most kind of strange is old tech is coming back for them as well. And I mean, that's kind of great too for a lot of players if you are a tech-oriented investor. So regular servers, just the stuff that Microsoft and Oracle has been building for itself, for enterprise, to rent out, AWS, that sort of stuff is on the upswing. It has been missing for a couple of years, right? And then here's a crazy idea, PCs, because they're killing Windows 10. There is going to be increased demand for PCs and probably the higher end PCs as people start to play around with AI. So all arrows look upwards, and I don't really care what the stock's doing today. It generally does this, and it's not trading off quite as much as it had in the recent past on the day after earnings.
Well, Kim, trading up in the recent past, it's up 94% year to date, second best performer on the Philadelphia index this year. I'm going to ask you something generally about AI infrastructure. Are various technology companies writing checks that energy companies, the grid, utilities can't cash in the future? Like, something has got to give here.
Yes, absolutely. We have this crazy thing called the physical world, right? That is running up against the virtual world. And I'm one of the people that really worry about this. I think AI is going to add productivity, but the OpenAI kind of model of we're going to have one big brain that you're going to tap into, it worries me. First of all, just tally up the expenses. I'm someone that came out of tech because the AI companies I was working for were not profitable because they didn't understand the problem. The cost of the problem had to be lower than the cost of higher than the cost of the solution. And I don't really understand what LLMs are solving. Like, you can't do a quick, back of the envelope calculation and go, yeah, people are really going to benefit from these financially. So these are the things that I worry about, not just power, but who's going to pay for all this infrastructure? 40-year notes for Oracle. Lovely that they think they're going to get paid back shorter timeline than that. But I don't understand the use case where businesses are going to pay enormous sums of money to access these.
To cut to the chase, do you think this is more, the idea of big bubble rather than big bets?
I do. And it's a very, very big bubble because they've solved a very big problem, natural language processing. But people are conflating that it's more than that this is a thinking machine, and it is not. I think that this will be used. I think LLMs are very useful, but they are not the answer, the end-all, be-all of AI.
So therefore, exposure. At the moment, you talk about OpenAI, and there's a lot of private money going into OpenAI.
Yes.
But OpenAI's demand props up the future revenue streams of NVIDIA, maybe even Micron as well. How much can you keep buying in to these companies like a Micron that is posting gross margin in excess of 50% in the here and now?
Well, here's my model. It's the third option that we're not talking about, is that companies, and I'm not recommending them, I'm using them as an example. Palantir solves smaller problems with AI that still need the same sort of chips, the same sort of infrastructure, but not quite as much, right? So they're solving problems, smaller problems at a smaller cost. And that, I think, is going to be the formula. And there will be many of these, but unlike OpenAI that seems to think that, we're going to have servers from New York to San Francisco, throughout the country, like all of the country is going to have those. it's hyperbole. Of course, I don't think that. But, the scale is not the same as with a smaller AI sort of model.